then you will be handing over to me.
When they said that travel is an investment in yourself, we took it very much seriously. And for you also to decipher different employment and opportunities in tourism and hospitality, I, Himanshi Kaushik, your host of the day, would like to welcome you all in today's webinar on potential of employability and entrepreneurship in hospitality and tourism sector. And I hope that you all are doing fine, safe, sound, and happy at wherever you're taking this webinar from. So before we move on and learn a lot more about the opportunities that we can have in the tourism sector or the hospitality sector, we have our experts here with us. So I shall introduce you to our expert. We have Dr. Sandeep Walia, sir. He's presently working as professor and associate dean in School of Hotel Management and Tourism at LPU. And he is an alumnus of Himachal Pradesh University, Shimla and IGNOU, and has been associated with Uttara University, Malaysia, and Himalayan Institute of Alternative Learning as a visiting faculty. He is an expert of curriculum development as well, and his area of interests are community-based tourism, tourism management, tourism anthropology, tourism planning, and development. He has authored more than 12 books and 30 research papers in various international journals in Scopus. He also had an experience of working as program director for subject aviation industry and developed content there under MHRD sponsored UGC project for postgraduate students. So sir, with this, I heartily welcome you in the webinar. And moving on, I'd like to introduce our second expert here, Mr. Navneet Kaushal, sir, contract manager of WebBeds. I'd like to tell about WebBeds as well. WebBeds is the world's fastest growing and second largest B2B bed bank distributor across the globe, with more than 120 plus offices across 50 countries. Under WebBeds brand, there are multiple sub-companies like DOTW, Destinations of the World, Sun Hotels, Total Stays, lots of hotels, Jack Travels, Umrah Holidays International, and many more. WebBeds has been a part of Webjet Limited, listed under Australian Securities Exchange. So Navneet sir, I'd like to welcome you in the webinar as well. And with this, an equal pleasure, I'd like to introduce our third expert, Mr. Manjeet Singh sir. He's a head in Alliance and Business Development Triumph. And now I would like Sandeep sir to please take over the webinar and take over the screen, sir. Over to you.
Thank you, Himanshi. I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of School of Hotel Management and Tourism, Lovely Professional University, Manjeet ji, who has kindly consented to be the part of this webinar, which is titled on employability and entrepreneurship opportunities in tourism and hospitality sector. On the contrary, we are also supposed to join by Mr. Navneet Kaushal ji. He may join he may join anytime. As of now, we are not able to establish contact with him. So, my dear students, just to begin with, I'd like to share about School of Hotel Management and Tourism. You might be aware, but just for again, to make yourself aware, who are not familiar about the School of Hotel Management and Tourism at Lovely Professional University, the school is established in the year 2007. We at present are having 6 undergraduate programs, 2 postgraduate programs, and 2 PhD programs. With a rich and experienced faculty, 45 plus in number, both from academia as well as research and from industry, we have 1150 plus students from almost all states of the India and 100 plus students from 10 plus different countries or nationalities, which makes us culturally rich university, which makes us a world-renowned university. We are having a good history of publications, 140 plus Scopus Index papers, 11 plus book. At present, school is having 64 PhD research scholars, and we are having a great alumni connect across the globe. These are the courses which we are offering: Bachelor of Hotel Management and Catering Technology, BSc Hotel Management, Culinary Arts, BBA Tourism and Hospitality, BBA Airlines and Airport Management, BSc Airlines, Tourism and Hospitality. And this year we have started with BBA Event Management as well. And after graduation, in post-graduation kitty, we have MSc Hotel Management, MBA Tourism and Hospitality, and PhDs in Hotel Management and Tourism, both full-time and part-time. How we are different from others? Because we have an industry-endorsed curriculum, a very experienced, research-oriented and industry-focused faculty, state-of-the-art facilities and for hand-on training. Almost every software which is used, whether it is Amadeus, Galileo, Opera, Sabre, we use to teach and give hands-on training to our students here. And we offer a variety of career opportunities. You may see that our students, they are working across the globe. We have a rich industry connect, thereby having partnerships with Radisson, Noble, Novotel, Accor, Pullman, world's renowned university like Cardiff Metropolitan University, Livingstone College, and Curtin University. So these are the states which I wanted to share with you. My dear students, our main USP, our main strength is placements. You may see that these students have been placed with a package of 20 lakh, 24 lakh, 22 lakh, 18 lakhs, 10 lakhs, and highest package was 51 lakh rupees in USA. Right? So we focus on the all-round development of the student, and today's theme is very interesting. That we are here to discuss about the employment and self-employment and employment and entrepreneurship opportunities for tourism and hospitality graduates. My dear students, this is such an industry where every fourth person directly or indirectly is associated with services sector, whether tourism and hospitality or any other service industry. So directly or indirectly, every fourth person in this world is working with service orientation, thereby heading towards the most populous country of the world with almost 142 billion population. I very rightly coincide with the few years back United Nations World Tourism Organization theme about 1 million tourists, 1 billion opportunities. That means if there are 1 million tourists, there are 1 million opportunities for the tourism and hospitality graduates. Be it working in any hotel as a chef, as a housekeeper, as a front office, as a guest relations, sales and marketing personnel, or in any travel trade, be in operations, sales, marketing, tour agent, travel agent, or working with any government, there are ample opportunities for the entrepreneurship. You might have seen, almost each one of us might have seen Shark Tanks these days. People are coming ahead to fund the entrepreneurial ventures. We have a successful case study of Oyo Rooms, which has been funded by a reputed bank of Japan. There are so many chains restaurants. You talk about MBA Chaiwala, you talk about Pirates of Grill, you take about Barbecue Nation, you take about any novel entrepreneurship venture which has been started by Chef Sabyasachi Gorai has opened a chain of restaurants across the length of breadth of this country. So this is one such industry which enables you to work not only at your place, not only at your state, not only at your country, but across the globe. You have a lot of entrepreneurial opportunities starting your own travel agency, event management company, right? To a restaurant, to a hotel, or to a homestay. 5 years, 10 years down the line, you may not be a job seeker, but you will be a job provider. And with a great emphasis of our Prime Minister on the 5 T's, which includes the T on tourism as well, we have seen that so many schemes have been launched in our country as well. So why I'm emphasizing that much in tourism and hospitality? Because this is one such industry which doesn't require that much of capital investment. You can start your own travel agency with 30,000 to 40,000 rupees. You only need a laptop, just get yourself registered, get your GST number, and you can start off. Start with your own restaurant, maybe less than of 10 lakh rupees of investment, right? Maybe an event company. Many of us have watched Band Baja Barat movie. Weddings, nowadays the time has come, my dear friends, when a small birthday is also been outsourced by we people to the event managers, because we want novelty in them, because we want to cherish those moments, we want to have the memories. So we want somebody to plan on our behalf, and we are ready to pay for that. Not only these things, but you may have came across that the big political rallies, Prashant Kishore, Nishu Arora, they are managing events for the political people. See the kinds of diversity, the kind of options we are having in this events, hospitality and tourism industry. I would not like to waste much of your time. I will just pass on to Mr. Manjeet ji, and once he will complete, we can have a discussion. I may have certain questions which I would like to ask to him, but we just want to listen from him first, and then I'll get back to the questions to him, and then we are open for the questions student who would like to ask from either from my side or from the Manjeet ji. Over to you, Manjeet ji.
Good afternoon, Sandeep sir. At the outset, I would like to thank you for this opportunity to be here and connect with these wonderful students around here. It feels a really privilege for me being your scholar and being here, connecting to the students. It's really a kind of privilege for me, sir. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Likewise, I'd like to congratulate all these candidates who have joined in from different parts of the country, those who want to know more about what this industry is all about and how this industry can pave way for the future. Friends, let me tell you, this is one of the most promising industry you will ever come across, you'll ever come to see around. This industry gives you ample opportunities in terms of growth in your job and opportunities for creating your own ventures also. This industry is one of the leading in the world in terms of employment generation. As sir very rightly said, 1 out of 4 jobs that you see around is directly or indirectly linked to industry of tourism and hospitality. And it is rather said that every 7th job in this world is directly linked to this domain of tourism and hospitality. Let me just take you along with a small presentation, which will keep moving along with this. Just give me a second. Himansham, I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is, sir. So kindly put it on slideshow once.
Yeah, I'm doing that. So talking about the career opportunities in tourism and hospitality sector, not just career, we'll also talk about the potential of setting up our own enterprises, being an entrepreneur. But this is something which I always talk to my students or the people I get connected with, that we should never jump into being an entrepreneur right away. There are so much nitty-gritties involved in this domain that we need to learn before getting into this ocean of being an entrepreneur in tourism sector. Although it seems very, very attractive and at the same time remunerative also to be a own boss, be a job giver rather than be a job seeker, and set up your own enterprise, employ people, give them employment opportunities, and make a good money in this business. Having said so, the point here is, before you enter into this domain of being an entrepreneur, it is always advisable you learn about this trade, you learn about the basic nitty-gritties, you learn about the basic tricks of the trade beforehand, before jumping into this point. So there are many things which you can gain and learn in this industry before becoming an entrepreneur. And trust me, becoming an entrepreneur in this sector is not a humongous task. As sir rightly said a while ago, just a laptop and an internet connection can fetch you a good business. It can give you an ample opportunity to start working for yourself. You just need a laptop, an internet connection, and a registration with the local authority wherever you are, be it a state or a UT. And if you grow up, you need to register yourself with the national body. And then how do you gain knowledge about this? This is through the course, the various curriculums sir has just described. What are the different courses this university can offer you to get into this setup? So I'll just give you a brief about what this industry is all about, or what are the different segments of this industry. I'm pretty sure you must be knowing what hotels are. You must have seen across when you have traveled to different destinations for leisure, pleasure, or even for meeting somebody. So the accommodation or the place where you settle or you stay is a hotel. And these are differentiated on the basis of their size, their build, location. We call them as boutique hotels. We call them chain hotels. We call them as motels, roadside motels. And we also categorize them on the basis of their star categorization. And the hospitality management at such hotels, it is based right from a basic setup or an accommodation setup, which just offers a bed and breakfast service or just an accommodation with the breakfast, to ultra modern luxury resorts, just like Palm Atlantis, if you have heard about that, if you heard about MGM hotels, if you heard about Kempinski hotels, these are the ultra luxury hotel resorts that you see across. So there is a huge variation of resources and opportunities in hotel segment that you can see about. Let me just take you through what are the different job roles that you see around in the hotel segment, or the opportunities which you can get into. Is one of the segment which in the hotel, which is taking care with the guests, is about room segment, wherein you talk about being a front office executive. You take care of the guest services. You also take care of the housekeeping of a department or the housekeeping of the hotel. Then we have an F&B department wherein you have restaurants, banquet, bars. You can get an ample opportunities to work there, learn things. Then there is another department, which is an HR department in a hotel, wherein there are the directors of the hotels. There the HR teams there, they look after employee, they look after employee welfare, they look after employee retention. Another important aspect or department is an accounting department, which takes care of the general day-to-day activities of the business. They also take care of the accounting of the business. Then we have sales and marketing department, which looks after the overall revenue generation of the hotel. We also call it as the bread and butter earning department of the hotel, or any entity wherein that sales and marketing department is. This department brings in the volume of business that a hotel or a agency, travel agency or a tour operation business needs. Then another department is an engineering department, wherein they take care of the upkeep of the hotel. They have electricians, supervisors, tradesmen, who maintain the upkeep of the hotel. Second department, which we just talked about, is food service. Food services
I'm very sorry to interrupt, sir. But you're not audible. I think there is some lag, internet connections there. Okay, I think sir has got some internet connection. So meanwhile, attendees, kindly be patient. I think there's some internet issue, and that's why sir has got disconnected. Meanwhile, you can just post your questions in the chat box or Q&A box. Any query, any thought that you have regarding employment and hospitality questions. Okay, I think sir has joined.
I think I lost for a moment. I'm really sorry for that.
Yeah, no issues, sir.
I'll just connect that again. So food service gives ample options for employment, not only just for being an entrepreneur, but for jobs also. And these, food service options or these operations are located around schools, colleges, theme parks, and standalone locations also. What basically you find in these food services are the independent restaurants. Independent restaurants are one which we establish on our own and run on ourselves. There is a concept called as mom and pop, which you must have come across. This mom and pop means small business units which have been running in a family and they are passed on to the next generation, which are more flexible. Then we have corporate restaurants, which are generally a tie-up with corporates, and they are structured in such a manner that they fetch or cater to the needs of the corporates, and wherein you can get more connections for your future businesses. The only concern here is that they are less creative because the corporate don't allow you to move much about with their regulations. So you have to abide by the regulations that they have. Then we have franchise restaurants, managed services. By franchise restaurants, I mean like Pin Baluchi, you have McDonald's, KFC. These are the franchise restaurants which you don't own actually, but you are running a franchise of this business, wherein you can establish those in business industries, set up those in an educational setup or healthcare setup. Another domain or a vertical wherein you can set up your business or you can work in food service is the catering business, wherein you can have your own setup or own location where you can organize in-house catering services for your clients, or you can arrange catering in banquet spaces, or in certain senses, as Sir said a while ago, that even birthdays are organized by people, by professional people. So therein you get the opportunity to arrange for theme-based parties or birthdays for your clients. The one of the important segment which I am very keenly connected with, and it's very close to my heart, is the travel and tourism segment of this industry. This industry gives you opportunity to work right from being a travel consultant, to work into airlines, to work with train, railways, buses, car rentals, aviation segment, hospitality, and so on and so forth. Herein also you get an opportunity to work with, other corporate businesses, wherein you tackle their business requirements, you tackle their business leads and convert them into your business prospects. And once you get into this domain of business, which we call as corporate business, your genre becomes broader. You just don't refine or contain yourself to tourism itself. If you're working in a tourism segment and you are working for a corporate business of other entities, be it service sector, be it product sector, be it for SAS based stuff, you get multiple opportunities to connect and start working with them. So having said so, I can assure you that this particular domain of business, tourism and hospitality, is worth taking the efforts. And I wanted to ask this question before you all. Are you here by chance or by choice? If you guys are here by choice, this is a wonderful decision that you have made, because this decision can yield you a career full of bright opportunities. And if you are here by just a chance, again, I can guarantee you that this chance has led you to a point wherein you are going to make a right decision by getting into this job and getting into the sector and getting the jobs that you will deserve and you desire. Just to add on to this point, I'll tell you one thing, that this particular business or this particular domain gives you so much of freedom to work and so much of opportunities to learn, grow, and experience stuff which you will never be able to do on your own. I think Mr. Navneet Kaushal has joined in. He's an old friend of mine. I'll just share one incident with you. We were not connected for last many years, I believe, and we both were in Dubai for a trade fair, for an event of tourism. and we got to meet each other there. So by virtue of your job, you tend to travel to different places and experience different stuff. Just to bring it to your point, by virtue of my job, I have been able to travel to 13 different countries, and so must be with my friend Navneet Kaushal, who is with Hotel Beds these days. So this particular business or job gives you so much of support and enthusiasm and leverage at the same time, that you get to see the world around you and across, and without even spending a single penny from your pocket. Just to put it across to you, I have been fortunate enough to stay at hotels, which my friend Navneet Kaushal must also, back for that thing, that we have stayed in hotels which costed 1 lakh rupee a night, which I'm pretty sure that I would never spend from my own pocket if I have to travel on my own. But by virtue of my jobs, we got so much of, leverage. We got so much opportunities to explore different places. We were sent on fam trips by our organizations, and even the different organizations which wanted us to put places. Citing one example I gave you about South African tourism board. Even Sri Lanka was being paid by tourism board and Sri Lankan Airlines. So this university, this industry has lot many things to offer you. Not taking much of time I would ask Sandeep ji, Himanshi ma'am. I'm through with my presentation. We can have questions.
Thank you, Manjeet ji. So we have
questions
as well. We will take the questions in the later ones. Navneet sir will address. So Navneet sir also happens to be my senior in Himachal Pradesh University and presently working as contracts manager for WebBirds. So Himanshi already introduced him in the beginning of the webinar. So Navneet ji, we are discussing about the scope, the enormous scope of entrepreneurship and employability among tourism and hospitality sectors. So we just shared a couple of things with these budding professionals who are intended to take admission to School of Hotel Management and Tourism of Lovely Professional University. So it's over to you to share your experiences, that how these kids can shape their future in tourism and hospitality industry, what sort of employability and what sort of self-entrepreneurial venture establishment scopes are there in front of them. Over to you. I know you are traveling, but you are kind enough to spare your valuable time through your busy schedule. So we'll not bother you that much, but just quickly having your words, then we'll move on to the question and answer session. Over to you, sir.
Hi, Sandeep and Manjeet. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I'm in the middle of the jungle and signal is the biggest issue. I have been searching for the signal, but I think luckily I could get Wi-Fi. So I'm so sorry. I mean for this the delay. And Sandeep, one thing you mentioned that
there is some problem with the internet. In the meantime, can we take the questions?
Yeah, sir, there was this. Okay, so I believe. Okay. So we can take the question, sir. So there's one question.
Am I audible? Yeah.
Yes, now you are audible, sir.
So sorry. Yeah. So I'm struggling with the signal. I'm so sorry because I was on holidays and I couldn't, get the time. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
You're audible. You're audible, sir.
Okay. So yeah. So students, I mean, I am in Corbett, so signal is the issue. So forgive me if you cannot hear me properly. But I'm very fortunate to be among you guys. And as I mentioned, we had a very good time with Manjeet. And what we learned throughout our experience is that it's the kind of hard work that we put, not the hard work, we should say the smart work. And today where we are, we are really fortunate that we are serving the travel industry, and it's a lot learning. And I mean, there are two ways. Either you go for entrepreneurship, or you just work in a company where you have your own capabilities, you learn. But yes, it is must you must first have the experience to start the entrepreneurship. So that is the criteria I always believe. Whosoever working or scoring very high in their career. So if you look at them, they have spent some time working in big companies or maybe the startups, but they learn the nitty-gritties of the business. So this is the foremost point for any individual to excel. And these two dimensions, the topic that we have, either you choose to be your own boss, or you work for your blood company or a company where you can really grow. So two choices, but the foremost thing is learn, experience, learn as much as you can. And I'll tell you frankly, initially when you start with tourism, this uh, as a job, when you work with this travel industry or maybe hospitality, hotels, or some sort of. So one thing is very clear: the money that we see, we don't get initial money, that good money, but maybe after 5 years, we started, earning the respect, and the money flows back. So this is something that I need to highlight. You must be thinking, okay, we might join, you might have a campus placement, we earn in lakhs, initially. You can. There is a possibility. I work for a company which is basically the online, the web beds, and this is similar to what Expedia and Agoda are doing. So the criteria for reaching such companies is basically the learning that we have. So right now, if I say, it's very technical sort of, but then first we need to start learning with few steps. So this is what I have to say.
Thank you, sir. Navneet sir, am I audible? Navneet sir, am I audible?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir, for giving your inputs in the topic today, in the webinar today, for all the attendees. And Sandeep, sir, do you want to add anything to it before we go to the questionnaire round?
No, not exactly, Himanshi. So let's take up the queries quickly.
Okay. Sir, this query came from Radha Sharma, and it read, what are those basic qualities one must require to be an entrepreneur, and especially in the tourism industry?
So this question is to me, or to Manjeet, or to Navneet?
Sir, like we can have all the point.
Okay. So what is the question?
So basically, yeah, so basically the question is, what are those basic qualities one must require to be an entrepreneur? And they are specifically directing in tourism industry.
First and foremost thing is the enthusiasm, right? If you are enthusiastic about something, now one day you'll get that. So if you are enthusiastic and you do have the commitment, you are more than welcome to LPU School of Hotel Management and Tourism. Will sharpen your entrepreneurial skills. And we made sure that before leaving the course, you will be having registered with the some kind of venture, maybe travel agency, event management company, or something like that. So the first and foremost thing, the enthusiasm, passion, and interest in the sector, which will lead towards the success. Am I right, Manjeet ji?
Certainly, sir. Surely.
Okay, so moving on to the next question.
Okay, sir, we're having another question from Ishani Hilal, and the question read, if one has to open a restaurant chain, what is that first step towards it?
The first, Manjeet, would you like to respond to this query?
Sorry. Can you come again, sir? Which question?
Okay, sir, the question read, if somebody wants to open a restaurant chain, what is that first step one needs to take? First step.
See, you're talking about a hotel chain or a restaurant chain which is already operational, and you want to start up a new venture in your place. See, the first and foremost thing, as Navneet also said, I also reiterated a while ago, and sir is also putting emphasis on that, is you need to have basic experience of that industry. See, until unless you know how a lemonade is made, you will never know how much cost is involved, how much profit you will make. That's a very basic, simple example I'm saying. So you'll never be able to understand what people are doing to you. Are you being, when you take up the cost analysis, so you'll understand, is this the right thing which is happening in my business? Because you actually know that business. But if you don't know it, you will always be in losses. So prima facie, the first and foremost thing that a person should do before getting into any business, I'm not just talking about a restaurant chain or a hotel chain, even if you want to set up a gym, you should know basic things about that. Then only you should get into that business, and then understand about setting up that enterprise on your own name or starting a venture which is already an established brand. Because when you take up a franchise of an established brand, you have to pay a fee. And above that, every year you have to pay them a royalty fee also. So if you talk about McDonald's, so you'll have to get, in order to take the franchise of McDonald's, you have to pay 1.5 crore rupees. Do you think that it is worth investing 1.5 crore to start a fast food chain business? Or you can employ all of that money to set up your own business. And that money, I think, would be good enough to run your business for 5 years. So that you can understand only when you know the practical experience of the domain. If tomorrow I want to start off an industry in electronics market, I don't know what that business is all about. So I might completely fail in that business. So rather I would go into a business where I have a brief information or brief knowledge about that business. And if you have business knowledge, if you know
maybe
experience, then you should have a cost analysis on that. That if I'm spending this money, how much return on investment I'll get in next 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, or till when will be my break even achieved. So you need
I
to
think
have
I will give a example. I was working in a company called Cox and Kings. Am I audible?
Yeah, Naveen.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Yes,
was
Naveen,
saying,
you're
I
audible.
was working in a company called Cox. Yeah, I was working in a company called Cox and Kings. We used to have a trainee. The trainee was very hardworking, diligent, and smart enough. I thought, maybe he has a very strong background. So he was there with us for 2 years, and then after 2 years, he came with his dad, saying that we have a resort in a desert in Jodhpur, and this is my card. And I was astonished to see his vision for starting a resort which is of 5-star grade, and then coming back to the company where he basically was a trainee. So the real example is he just learned the nitty gritties, the business. I know it's a travel company, but opening a resort is a different ball game. But the main thing is, first you need to have the experience of working in that domain. So, for example, if you're looking for a franchisee of McDonald's, you need to work there for at least 2 to 3 years. Learn how the junior staff is working, how they collaborate, they work together, they spook, the feelings and everything. It comes, and then you will be a very good. You obviously, when we thinking of starting a chain, it start with one resort, and then 2 and 3 and 4, and then it makes a chain. But there is no point opening at one single point. Maybe you might have a money, but that business cannot flourish. So crux is you need to put your time first to learn. You maybe 2 years learning how kitchen works, how service works. That's the answer.
And I'll add to this, Naveen. Rather, I'll give them a real life example that we have it in our state, Jammu itself. One of a candidate who, he went to, I believe, Thomas Cook or some other company as a trainee. And 6 months he learned there. After 6 months, he started off his own business. And he was with some corporate training or corporate team where he was learning about corporate business. And after that, within 6 months, he started off his own business. And 3 months down the line, when when he had established his business, he took off a business from a very reputed corporate house, wherein they had to take people to South Africa. And the group size was almost nearly about 50 people. But having that less experience in this career costed him around 1 crore rupee, because he had taken up that project to
cater to them for their South Africa tour. But he did not have very brief knowledge about the visa process, how much time it will take, and he had guaranteed them everything, that everything will be taken care of, and that too within a span of 15 days or 18 days. And I'm pretty sure Navneet must be verifying this fact that South Africa visa takes minimum of 30 days, 30 to 35 days to come out. And there was no point that this thing could have materialized. So
yeah, true.
he got all the people from different parts of India collected at Delhi, to travel to South Africa. And he didn't even tell them that their visas were not through. So they were not in that, clarity that their visas are still in the embassy. They are not through with the visa. They all were called for at Delhi. Their all arrangements were made for South Africa, even their flight tickets and hotel bookings in South Africa, and which led to a complete disaster because everything was cancelled at 11th hour. And when you cancel things at the last moment, you get zero refund. Am I right, Navneet? So for that 50
Yes, agree.
people,
Yeah, I agree.
for that 50 people, the arrangement that he had made was turned to ashes because of his inexperience to handle stuff. So as I said in the very beginning, we should not jump into this process of being an entrepreneur right away after completing your graduation or your master's. My suggestion, or as Navneet also said, we should put in our time and effort to learn more about this industry, learn about the nitty-gritties, and then think of planning up your own enterprise. This is very lucrative to set up our own business, and it is phenomenal. I'll give you hundreds of examples where people have done tremendous good work when they have started their own ventures also. So it is not a bad thing to start business in the tourism industry. It yields a very, very bright career and a bright future for people. But having said so, I'll just bring this thing again to the table, that experience in this domain is the most important element to move ahead with your career or move ahead with your entrepreneurship business. Sir.
Okay, sir, carrying forward this question, we have another question from Rajan Singla, and he says if someone have restaurant or an hotel or maybe a five-star hotel, and the food also tastes good and services are also good, but the hotel stays in loss. So how can someone grow that hotel? That growth of that particular hotel should be there.
I'll take this question.
Yeah.
See, if the services are good and still the hotel is in loss, then there is something wrong with the management and the accounting. You need to check the cost analysis of your products and your services that you're offering. There might be a chance that you are offering quality products at a very cheaper price than the market. It's like you're offering a Sony LED TV at the price of a Xiaomi TV. So you need to understand your product value. See, Taj will never sell its product at the cost of Le Meridian or of Lemon Tree cost. So you need to understand what is your product value. You might be undermining your value and selling it at much lower cost than what market is ready to pay. Let me give you another example. Say tomorrow iPhone 15 launches and it sells at 30,000 rupees. Will the company make profit?
No.
Certainly not, because the value of that product is certainly higher than what iPhone 14 is right now, or at least close to that, which means it would be roughly around 120, 130. So if I keep on selling it for 30,000 every day, I'll be incurring losses and I'll be in great losses in pretty soon time. So understand what is your product, what is the value of your product, and also, make a small survey. Try to find out what people are ready to pay for a similar kind of product. Don't mention that what should be the value of your product. Ask them that there is a new product coming up, which is similar to the product available. What should be the cost?
Right.
Okay. Then you'll be able to understand that where you are lagging.
Thank you, sir. for resolving this query. And so we have another query from Kabir, and he says where we can have more job opportunities in hotel industry in foreign country or India.
Anywhere. You put a finger on global map. Our students are working in USA, they're working in Canada, they're working, you name, in any country, or in India itself, with having such a a lot of students. We are having a student 1100 plus students in a school, and I mentioned that I have students from every nook and corner of the country. That means from all 28 states and 6 union territories. So, but majorly we work with the reputed hotel chains like Oberoi, Taj, Le Méridien, Leela, right? So next question, please.
Okay. So next question is, what will be the ultimate growth of being in event management industry?
What will be the
ultimate growth being in event management industry?
Manjeet ji, would you like to take up on this question?
I think Navneet ji can answer well since he's from corporate business.
Navneet ji?
I think he's not around. I'll take the question. Kindly repeat the question.
Okay, sir, it is like, what is the ultimate growth when somebody is in event management industry? What he can expect, she can expect to grow like?
The highest growth in any organization, be it a travel company or a tour operation business, event management, or any XYZ company, is the vice president of particular that domain or the director in that company. So we have seen people who have risen up in their career path right from the executive level to vice president level also. So the potentials are immense. You have huge opportunities to grow. It's only and only when you will work on that. See, growth happens only when you move out of your comfort zone. If you'll stay in your comfort zone and demand growth, it will never happen. If you say, I'll work 9 to 5 and at 5 o'clock, my system is off. After that, I'll not take any calls or respond to any emails. You will never grow. For growth, you'll have to move out of your comfort zone. And this, being a service industry, demands 24/7 attention.
Yes.
And then only you will see tremendous growth in your profile also. I can give you real life examples wherein one of our candidates, he started off in 2015, I think. In 2018, he was a head for Indian business sitting in Thailand, handling complete business of India from Thailand. So this is the kind of amplitude you can grow your business or your profile or your career to.
Okay.
I just want to add on Manjeet's point that students, you may search Mr. Vineet Mahendru on Google. You will find out that he is the COO of 4 countries, heading TCI, DFT, SITA, Kyoni, and he is the head for India, Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh, heading 5 countries. And Vineet sir happens to be our senior long back in Shimla. So see the kind of growth, not heading 1 country, heading almost 5 countries.
Yeah.
And he is also the corporate advisory board member of our school. So he visits our school and interacts with students frequently as well. Any other questions?
Yes, sir. We have another question coming from Rajan Singla. And he says, if somebody gets a chance, let's say to do study hotel management or to have this practical training in hotel, so what would one choose? Yeah, what should one choose? And which one is better?
See, all of our programs as per new education policy and as governed by Ministry of Human Resource Development and Government of India, in a 3-year degree program, which is BSc HM, BSc Hotel Management, there will be 1 6 months complete internship with the hotel, where you will be learning about the basics. And then that internship, after that, we make you, we allow you to sit for the placements, and you can go for on-job training as well and earn as well. And second, in 4-year program, you have a double internship, like you go twice for an internship. So if particularly you want that, working in a hotel sector and studying hotel management, which will give you more advantage, see, we should learn the basics first. We should get or get our basic education done first, and then we should jump to the industry, so that our basics are clear, and we can also put our innovations, creativity in industry while we are working with the industry. Whatever we have learned during the course of the program in 3 years or 4 years.
I'll add to this, sir. When we talk about in Indian context, it doesn't matter you have a degree or not. How good you are in your business is more important. But when we talk about North American context or other countries, in that case, you need to have a quantifiable degree or education setup with you. Then only you'll be allowed for a job. So to get into a job or to grow in your career, you need to have degrees, you need to have qualification. And for that case, you will have to get into an education system. Getting directly into the working sphere will reduce your chances of moving higher up in the ladder.
Definitely, sir. I agree with the answer that you've given, sir. We have another question coming in from Kabir, and he says, where are more opportunities in event management industry or hotel management industry?
Everywhere. It lies with you, with your enthusiasm, with your passion, your commitment, and your intention to work in which industry. More or less, see, events is an integral part of hotel business. But now in India, the specialized program for events has been started, and we are the pioneers who have started this degree program as BBA Event Management. So, of course, if you want a glamorous, industry, and you want to build your own something, event management is good. But hotel management is also having its own advantages. But event is a smaller chunk of hotel management as well.
Sir, there's another question, kind of a similar question, and it says, if I choose BSc Airline, Tourism and Hospitality, will I get practical knowledge of all three sectors or only a particular sector?
No, you will be getting the knowledge of all three sectors, but you will not be able to become a chef, because in airlines, tourism and hospitality, will be teaching you the basics of aviations, ground operations, particularly in hospitality, all three domains, leaving the production part, right? And tourism, you can about the travel agents, tour operator, like you can be an entrepreneur in the tourism. Tourism entirely we have covered in this program.
Sir, similar question, continuing to that, what are the scopes in airlines, coming from Anvit Gogoi? What are the scopes in airline in the same field, like BSc Airline, Tourism and Hospitality? What are those scopes of airlines?
See, this year also students, they have been selected. Divya selected with Air India, Ria selected with Vistara, that somebody selected with Indigo as well. So if we have a good chunk of students, the aviation companies come for campus placements. If we don't have, students didn't opt for the placements in airlines, and very less chunk is there. They tell us, we send them to their interviews schedules as per their offices, and they can go in the airlines companies. But I would like to specifically mention here that for that, to be a cabin crew, you have to have the basic requirements completed, like you should be having 5.4 inch, 5 feet 4 inch height for girls, 5'9" for boys, and fair complexions, no tattoos, nothing. But on ground, they are relaxed. They relax in these conditions.
Okay.
I'll add a bit to this. That in airline sector, you can also go into the sales and marketing of the airlines, which is one of the lucrative job opportunities in airlines. All these airlines, we call it as the domestic or the international ones, they need their representatives to be in the market to fetch business. As I said in the presentation also, sales and marketing is the bread and butter earner of the family. So airlines are putting a lot of impetus on getting good people into their team who can fetch business for them. And then these business come from corporate houses, from educational setups, from travel agencies, and from NRIs also. So this is again another vertical where you can pitch in when you are doing airlines and hospitality course.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sandeep, sir. Thank you, Manpreet, sir, for coming in, for joining in, and Manjeet, sir, for coming in and joining in and giving your experience, your knowledge to all the attendees and the students. And I'd like to thank you all the attendees as well for being here for this long hour now, and all the questions that you've given are really appreciated. And sir, I'd now take the permission to wrap this webinar up, sir. Sandeep, sir, Manjeet, sir.
Sure. On this behalf, I would like to thank Manjeet ji, Navneet ji, and all the students, and of course you, Himanshi. So thank you very much, and thank you, Manjeet ji, Navneet ji, and let's sign off for the day. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. And to all attendees, of course, I have given you a link in the chat box for you. If you're any query that I could not address in the webinar or as is left unanswered, you can simply click on that particular link and put in your query there. And with this, I take your leave, and until next webinar, stay safe and stay healthy, and also explore our site. We have multiple registrations going on for different webinars. So you can register freely and you can gain as much as knowledge you want. And our site is lpu.in. So kindly explore that. And with this, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you, sir, for coming in, Manjeet, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.